blessing to stand here with all of you today. It's really an honor and a privilege to see so many beautiful faces, so many familiar faces. I'm here speaking today, and I would like to invite up our Vice Chair for the Pit River Tribe, Corina Lego. Can you come up, please? Morning Sargali, Ilat Atagay Chi'i, Ajumawi is Chi'i. I'm Morning Sargali from the Pit River Tribe. I'm from the Ajumawi Band. And we're here today, we're standing here today because our ancestors have never been idle. We're standing here today because of these movements. Idle No More is a beautiful movement in bringing our people together, but there's past movements of the American Indian movement, Women of All Red Nations, of the longest walk that took place, DQ University. I want to acknowledge our relatives that are here today from Peace and Dignity Journeys that spent months running to unite the prophecy of the eagle and the condor. So yesterday, my tribe, Pit River, passed a resolution in support of the Indigenous nations in Canada and in support of Idle No More. And there's a letter here that our Vice Chair is going to read. This is Corina Lego, daughter of Raymond Lego.
Hello? Can you hear me? I'm not sure where I should be here, right here. There was a resolution passed yesterday. I don't know if Morning Star has read it to you folks yet, but it's sent from the Pit River Tribe to Idle No More. And what I'd like to do on behalf of the Pit River Tribe is say, welcome, brothers, sisters, friends, and neighbors. Morning Star's read the resolution, right? No, she will read it. Okay, she'll read this resolution. It was sent here today in support of Idle No More. It's a voice from my people to say that we hear and understand the concerns of our brothers and sisters in Canada. I am Corina Lego, Vice Chairman of the Pit River Tribe. It is my honor to represent for the Pit River Tribe. The Pit River Tribe supports Idle No More's response to C-45. I speak on behalf of my tribe, my community, Roaring Creek, Rancheria, in this letter to Prime Minister Harper, Governor General Johnson. We call on the Canadian government to please take heed of the Canadian Indigenous people's voices. Chief Theresa Spence has brought Canadian Indian people's concerns to the attention of the world. The eyes of the world watch now to see what the leaders of the Canadian government actions will be. Ignoring it, Chief, is disrespectful. Ignoring the concerns of Indigenous people in regards to protection of water, land, catches the attention of many people the world over. The common ground, the common concern on a global level is the health of our environment. Healthy water and land is in everybody's best interest. This global concern is not something that can be ignored by any government. Idle No More has created awareness of the controversial omnibus bills recently passed in Canada. Bills passed without consultation of First Nations. We, as Indigenous people from the Pit River Tribe in Northern California, share the deep concern of the Indigenous people in Canada regarding the environment. The health of the environment transcends all walks of life. If we do not have healthy water, healthy air, healthy food, healthy children, we do not have a healthy future. Honor our Canadian Indigenous brothers and sisters. Meet with Theresa Spence. Listen to her message. Protect the land and water for your future generations. Work with First Nations on a nation-to-nation, government-to-government basis to protect the land and water. Canada is a beautiful land. Your rivers should not be running malignant green. Drinking water should not look like mud. Fish should not have huge tumors. Villages should not be suffering rare forms of cancer. Common sense says land, water, air should not be made polluted, toxic, or left dead for any amount of money. Common sense says the next generation will inherit the consequences of actions done by prior generations. Common sense says money cannot buy back healthy land, water, and air after it is all gone. And common sense says when Mother Earth suffers or dies, so will everyone and everything on Mother Earth. Please do what is right and take care of our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Corina. And I just want to quickly read, I'll read the last half of the resolution here. I was just back in Washington, D.C., and it was really beautiful to see so many of our tribal leaders, so many of our leadership standing in support of our First Nations brothers and sisters in Canada, standing up and speaking in support of this grassroots effort that's being led by women. So we're saying our tribal leadership passed yesterday to whereas the Pit River Tribe has inherent sovereign governmental powers to protect and promote the health, safety, and or general welfare of the people of the Pit River Tribe. And whereas Canada, as a signatory to the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, has pledged to recognize the individual and collective rights of Indigenous peoples within the Commonwealth's borders. And whereas the Pit River Tribe is greatly concerned by the attempts by the Canadian government to terminate the inherent and treaty rights of our relatives, nations, and peoples, and now therefore it be resolved that the Pit River Tribal Council calls upon the Government of Canada to uphold the honor of the Crown as it was committed in treaties with Indigenous nations and peoples in its endorsement of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And be it further resolved that the Pit River Tribal Council calls upon the Government of Canada to step away from the disastrous strategy it has embarked on in an attempt to terminate the inherent treaty rights of Indigenous nations and peoples and enter into negotiations that will restore nation-to-nation and government-to-government relationship established by the treaties. So ho, thank you.